He's performed at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal, and he once opened for Harry Reid. Please welcome Lee Camp.
Yes, cool. So Bush's birthday. Is there any better time to be pro-choice? I understand both sides of the abortion issue. Like, I can see both sides. But the people I can't comprehend are the people who are hardcore pro-life and hardcore pro-death penalty. That's like saying, don't kill them, let's wait and see how they turn out first. And see if the after-school program works. If not, then we'll just whack them. It's not pro-life, it's just procrastinating. Hypocritical, right? It's as hypocritical as a white racist at a tanning bed. We just had the 4th of July, right? And we had the big Nathan's hot dog eating competition, and America won!
USA!
Oh, USA! One thing we can win is fucking eating. We lost to Japan for like 6 years. But finally we pulled it out. And you ever see that on TV, like competitive eating? You can't turn the channel. It's like, you haven't lived till you've seen a 450-pound man named Cookie Jarvis shove hot dogs into his pie hole at a ridiculous speed. And people call gay marriage unnatural and not what God intended. There is nothing that God intended less. Humongous men who aren't hungry at all. Just shoved like cow brains into their vacuous gullets with people cheering them on. So sad. You remember when we used to eat for survival? Remember that? Now it's a sport. Well, while we're at it, why don't we also have a competition to see who can get vaccinated the most? We've got an obesity epidemic, you know? That's the kids' role models, because this is a sport now, right? Obesity epidemic. Now it's an epidemic. When I was a chubby kid in school, it wasn't like a disease, you know? Now it's like, what happened to your kid, Bill? Oh, he got fat. Yeah. He got a little fat. You know, I think we should have, we've already got the foreign exchange program. We should have an obesity exchange program. We should send some of our little land manatees over to those other countries, and they could send back some of their heroin chic kids, and then we fatten up their kids in our traditional diet of White Castle and Taco Bell, and then our kids would slim down on the traditional Bangladeshi diet of sticks and sticks. And then we'd ship them back. Spread the fat around the world. Oh, and what else in the news? Scooter living. And he pardoned him, and well, close enough. He pardoned him, and he said, and Bush said that it was for his exceptional public service that we had to let him out. You know, that's basically saying that, like, if a farmer had been convicted of exactly the same crime, he would have to go to jail because he didn't feel that selfless call to make millions of dollars in public service, you know. He didn't feel that call. He's so selfish, you know. He didn't feel that call to rape and pillage the American people. He just felt the need to earn $8 an hour collecting tick bites. You know, it's as if they go into public service to help the people, you know, these guys. It's like saying LeBron James plays basketball 60 hours a week for the love of the game. You know, the millions and the free women don't matter at all. And then Bush also said that the two years in prison was excessive punishment. Keep in mind, this is the same man that once put a retarded man to death. And this punishment is excessive. I know, that joke was sad. Sometimes funny hurts. It's alright. Of course, the war is still going on. Although we don't feel it, right? You know, it's so sad. War is going on. You don't feel it at all. You know, I think if there's one thing, the war should be like a splinter in the bottom of your foot. At the very least, it should hurt a little all fucking day. You know, instead for us, war is like, it's like a bad haircut, you know? For the first couple weeks, we're like, oh, this sucks! And then we're like, it'll work out. I think the reason there's always wars going on somewhere in the world, and I think it's because for the really powerful guys at the top of each country, war is like the giant masturbation. It's like jacking off on a scale we can't even imagine, you know, where people die and civilizations are destroyed. And that's why they can't stop. You know, they can hold off. They can hold, like Israel, for example. They held off for like 10 years. The rabbis were like, that's disgusting. Don't do that. So they held off, and then, you know, after a few years, they got a little shaky all over Lebanon. You know, that's what it is. And North Korea is like the little kid that just figured out how to do it. You know, he's like, fire missiles off and shit. Looking. And the U.S. is like, Dad, don't do that. What are you doing? And then North Korea was like, but you do it all the time. I've seen you. And then the U.S. was like, all right, go on. Feels kind of good. War on terror. They wanted to change the name. Remember that a few months ago? They wanted us to call it the Global Battle Against Violent Extremists. Is anyone else concerned that Bush is getting our foreign policies from reruns of the Thundercats? That's why he's in fact Osama. He's looking for Mumra. And I don't know if Osama really matters anymore, but if he does, we could get him in like 8 minutes. We could. All you'd have to do is announce that he's banging Paris Hilton. You turn on the TV 8 minutes later, and his cage would be surrounded by paparazzi. Leave me alone, just let the player play. Come on, they caught Michael Jackson in Bahrain. They found Angelina and Jolie in Namibia. Just get those pricks on the job. Oh. They changed the name. I hate that. When they think they can change the name of something and it's going to change our opinion, you know, you love that. They do that all the time. You know, it's not the war on terror anymore. It's not called the death penalty. It's capital punishment. Or it's not called mandatory testing. It's no child left behind. It's not called if you see somebody who looks Middle Eastern, punch them in the throat. It's the Patriot Act. Rename it. Get us excited. No child left. Who could vote against something called No Child Left Behind? But if you read the small print, it defunds dumb schools. So it should be called Dumb Children Left Behind. It's a good idea, but to be honest. Word games they play. They came out, the White House came out with a report a few months ago that 2/3 of Palestinians, or something like 2/3, are not hungry, not starving, but food insecure. Food insecure! Food insecure is when, like, you've just eaten at the Outback Steakhouse. And then you go next door for dessert, but they've only got one slice of cheesecake left in that glass case, and there's like a fat dude in front of you, and you're afraid he's gonna take it. That's food insecure.